Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Failure. Not sure how else to define it. Failure. I don't think it was a choke. In fact, I'm certain I don't think it was a choke. Failure. How else do you define the super team that is the Brooklyn Nets? Failure. First preseason favorite since they've been tracking this to get swept in the first round of the playoffs. Third preseason favorite since 1985 to not win a playoff game. Put together to win now, and although they didn't say it, not one, not two, not three, not four. Failure. And who do you blame? Well, I'll blame the Celtics for one, because they were way better. And you better start thinking about them as an NBA title contender. But failure in Brooklyn. Good morning to you on a Tuesday, final Tuesday of the month of April. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What did you?
Better than the New Jersey Nets or the Brooklyn Nets or whatever they're calling themselves these days. Maybe they want to go hide in Jersey for a while. Right, get away from Brooklyn. I don't know where you are on this, and I don't want to discredit the Celtics because they should be as much of the story as the Nets are. The way they have been assembled, the way they are coached, the way they play, the way they are emerging as a great team, they should be the story. And they will be tomorrow, next week, but not today, right? The story is the team that didn't win. Do you disagree with me?
You're right on. The story today is about the Brooklyn Nets and disaster that was their season in a league where we bet so much on the superstar. Oh, you have the best player on the floor, you're going to have the opportunity. That was not the case this year for two of the best in the game, in Kevin Durant and even LeBron James. You just look at what it takes to be successful in the league. When we talk about the quote-unquote super teams, those are actually teams. Like, there's a lot more that went into those runs for the Miami Heat, what we're seeing with the Golden State Warriors. And then just the absolute dysfunction across the board for the Brooklyn Nets this season that added to their failure, but they still had that belief, hey, just get us on the court. It's all that matters. Get us on the court. KD, Kyrie, we're going to get it done. And you saw last night, KD finally showed up in the series. They went on a run, but it wasn't even close, man. This was Boston all day, every day in this series, and putting a lot of question marks in the air for Brooklyn moving forward. They're going to say it's as simple as, hey, we're just going to be healthy, running back out there.
Is it?
You got a lot of stuff to figure out. And especially it starts with, I think, Kevin Durant. What role does he want to play? How does he feel about Kyrie Irving, who last night continues to just throw more hurdles in his way, saying, yeah, I'm going to be back, but I understand that Kevin and we're going to work along with Joe and Sean Marks, some of the front office, to run this franchise together. That's not going to be successful.
Hardly. All right, let's give credit where credit is due. Jason Tatum went for 29. Jaylen Brown went for 22. Marcus Smart went for 20. And the Boston Celtics were the better team in this series. Boston Celtics will move on in the NBA Finals, in the NBA playoffs, and make it to the Finals. And right now, I will tell you that the Boston Celtics are the most impressive team in the NBA playoffs through the first round. You got a problem with that statement?
I think it's a toss-up between Boston and Miami.
All right, Miami's been nice. I think the team that Boston just swept is more impressive than what Miami's doing. I'll give Miami. I'm impressed by Miami. Miami's nice. To me, Boston is the most, and it's first round. That doesn't mean they're going to win it all. In the first round, Boston is the most impressive team in the playoffs. So credit where it's due. All right, and we're going to talk about Boston. You know why? Because they're going to be around for a while. Because they're going to be playing next week. Because they will be advancing in the NBA playoffs. I got a couple things here. And I know Steve Nash is going to take the heat, and I'm not sure I think it's him. And I think he tried everything. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to look at me like I'm nuts. I kind of feel bad for Kevin Durant. Why would you feel bad for him, Jeff? He put this thing together. Yeah, he did. He did. And I do think this is going to have lasting impacts on the way general managers look to put their rosters together in the future. Because how many, as you said, how many of these super teams work? But I feel like he was let down. I feel like he was let down by Kyrie Irving, who he basically picked to be his running mate, his number 2, his co-star. And his co-star didn't play half the year. He was certainly let down by Ben Simmons. And it's not what he put together. I thought he balled last night. Now, did he ball the whole playoffs? I don't know. But there's a part of me, I look at him, and I get it. And a lot of people find him to be a very unsympathetic figure. I kind of feel bad for him because that's not what he signed up for. But sometimes you don't get what you signed up for.
And this is a moment, too, for Kevin Durant, where if you're going to keep this 50-50 with Kyrie, it's not going to be successful.
No.
Because Kyrie Irving, as talented as he is, he's one of the best scorers I've ever watched in terms of the guard getting into lane, finishing around the basket. He's phenomenal. But he ain't that dude. He wants to be Batman, and he ain't. And he's not going to win at a high level in this league thinking he can be 1A to a superstar, thinking he can control a franchise and do whatever he wants.
And I don't know that he's got it in him to accept Robin. I'm not sure he does. Now, they got a choice to make. $50 million to keep him for another year, let him go and get nothing, and I think they're going to keep him. I think they're in a tough spot.
Well, it's a player option, I believe.
Is it a player option? So it's his option to make $50 million. So he's back. All right, let's go. 2 lines are open. 2 lines buzz. Yeah, they're buzzing early. Good morning, Jerry. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you.
Celtic fan.
No. Oklahoma City Thunder fan, honestly.
All right, then.
And it makes me so happy to watch Kevin Durant lose. I don't feel bad for him in the least bit. But no, I think, that aside, I actually think that the Nets losing like this is fantastic for the sport of basketball. I think, and also, by extension, the Lakers. I think it's good to see that it takes more than let's slap a couple of guys who are supposed superstars together and expect them to go out and contend for a title. Like, I think it's great to see that we need a team. And I think, like, you look at the Celtics, a team that was built, quote-unquote, the right way. You know, like, they've drafted their guys and developed their talent. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams III.
Marcus Smart came from somewhere else.
It's a bunch of guys who they didn't just go out and get for fun, you know. They kind of I look at the Celtics and I see, as much as I'm not a big Celtics fan, to be completely honest. I find their fans very annoying.
Yep.
But I think that to their credit, they're an organization that's built the right way. And so I think this is all like really, really good for the sport of basketball, the way that this postseason specifically has been playing out so far.
Built the right way. And so I'm looking around, and this is what I was saying about the Warriors the other day. Look, you're not going to be completely organically built, but
sure.
It's not working long term, unless I'm missing something, to put these teams together and go out and win not 3, not 4, not 5. I mean, who's winning? Now, can you win one? The Heat won a couple.
The Heat were fine.
Yeah, the Heat eventually got there. But where else is it working?
Another team that totally fizzled out, that as a Thunder fan I love to see, is the Clippers.
Yeah.
Right?
And Kawhi didn't play all year. Yeah.
Kawhi seems to be doing them the same way he did San Antonio, which, again, more draft picks for my Thunder in the future here. But, like, they try to assemble a team, and it's just you have to do a little bit more than send a bunch of picks away for good players, you know?
I think, and the Lakers found that out, too. All right, Jerry, appreciate you. Thanks. All right, so Thunder fan, I didn't even think of that angle on it. Thunder fans just sitting back there going, Paul George, how you living? That's right. Okay, I'll tell you living.
Jerry will probably still tell you the biggest what if in his Thunder fandom is if Westbrook, Harden, and KD could have ever figured it out.
That's right. No, that's right. I mean, they could have been the super team grown organically.
Grown organically.
Yeah. I asked you this the other day.
And Marcus Smart was drafted by the Celtics.
Yeah, he was. I just realized that. What's going to be the right way to put this together? And when you got a superstar of LeBron stature, and then Kevin Durant, and they want to go somewhere and say, "Hey, come with me," it's going to be hard to say no, whether you're a general manager, an owner, or somebody else, because it's attractive. It worked in Miami. Didn't work immediately, but it worked in Miami.
That was two great players that you look at it, and whatever you want to say about LeBron and Xander, like him and Dwayne Wade
They worked.
two peas in a pod.
Well, they worked. And Dwayne Wade accepted that role, the role that you're telling me that Kyrie needs to accept, and I'm not sure he's going to. It didn't work in Los Angeles with the Lakers in this thing. It certainly isn't working in Brooklyn. Now, it's not as common as I'm making it sound, but I'm looking around the league, and Miami got Jimmy Butler in, but a lot of the rest of Miami's roster is organically growing.
To Jerry's point, which is right on, I tweeted this last night. I'm saying the first round of the NBA is highlighting great role players and roster building in this league.
Yeah.
Yes, the super teams, superstars. You're not going to say no if they want to come to your team, but those are so few and far between. We get caught up in that's the only way you're going to be good. You look at what the Mavs did without Luka. If you stay in that series, Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie stepping up, you get Luka back.
Yeah.
Look what he did last night after
How'd
he had
Toronto
a
win a
game-winner
championship?
belt. The Raptors responding this year with that lineup. Fred VanVleet did not play.
Yeah, and they rolled them last night.
76. You got the rookies in New Orleans. This Boston Celtics team is a perfect example because they have to hit on those picks too.
Yeah, that's right.
That Marcus Smart was a 6th overall pick.
Look at Phoenix.
Jaylen Brown, when he came out of Cal, there were a lot of people questioning him. He was 2nd or 3rd overall. What are you doing? Jason Tatum was a no-doubter. Mm-hmm. But other than that,
he slipped, and there are a couple teams in front of Boston who wish they would have taken Jason Tatum. What was he, 3rd, 5th?
Oh, he was 3rd.
3rd.
Thought, 2nd or 3rd. It was, I believe that was actually, was that not when the Lakers took Lonzo Ball?
I think that was. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
I'm 100% right. I'm sure that was, yes.
But we are absolutely seeing some fantastic roster construction in the first round of these playoffs.
All right, 505-246-0610. I want to give you your time, so we're going to take this break. Go to the phones when we get back. I want your thoughts. I understand it's about the Celtics. The Celtic fan, I don't want to rob you of your glory, but I think your glory is still to come. I do. And this is you'll be the story because you're going to still be here. But the failure of this super team getting swept in the first round is the story. And I got a bunch more points on it, and I know you do too. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a Tuesday morning. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard